Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Yo.
Hello, hello, hello. Tuesday.
Welcome back.
Yep. Always good to be back.
Another day. Another day of baseball.
Also, another day for On This Day.
Another day for On This Day.
Yeah.
Did you have one?
Yeah. Back in 2011. Do we have the same one?
Nope. Mine's
All
from 1980.
All right. On this day in 2011, 19-year-old Mike Trout goes 0 for 3 in his major league debut against the Mariners. So,
yeah.
Legend Mike Trout, and just to let everybody know that Mike Trout's one of those guys who was not really that great when he first came up. Didn't really start hitting good until 2012.
Yep. Sometimes it takes a little bit for some of these players. I think in fantasy I gave up on Cam Smith too quick. My team started crumbling. I had like this is what happened. I had 4 Astros that I drafted. Yanier Diaz, Christian Walker, Cam Smith, and Jeremy Pena. For whatever reason, at the beginning of the season, I was like, well, I don't want that many Astros. I ended up dropping Jeremy Pena and Cam Smith, and they end up being right now having a much better season than Diaz and Walker. So, but my point is, sometimes it takes a little bit for one of those players like that, big name player, to get comfortable, and we'll be talking about one here shortly.
Heck yeah.
But mine is back 1980. So, I like the throwbacks. But since the All-Star game's coming up, this is an All-Star game throwback. But the NL wins its 9th consecutive All-Star game, 4-2, at Dodger Stadium. So obviously it's been pretty much the opposite now. The AL typically wins the All-Star game. But Reds outfielder Ken Griffey has 2 hits, including a home run to win the game's MVP award.
Heck yeah.
So that's pretty
Legend.
sweet. Yep.
Have you ever heard of his son? I'm kind of curious.
I don't think so.
No? I heard he was somewhat good at baseball.
Well, one of us got to see his 500th home run.
Yeah.
The other was taking a leak.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it.
You were pretty young at the time. You may have been sitting on the toilet.
I was 4.5, around there.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't. I don't think you were potty trained yet. It took you a little bit.
Yeah.
Man. But anyways, those are good throwbacks. You get on this day's Mike Trout and Ken Griffey Sr.
Oh yeah.
You want to go ahead and do breakouts?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll start off this time. So for hitting, I went with my guy Chandler Simpson. He got called back up not too long ago, and he's been on a rampage ever since. He's currently hitting .309, which is a big reason I picked him up in fantasy, because I know he should be around a 300 hitter, and he's going to get a lot of stolen bases. But his last 20 at-bats, so his last 7 games, he's got 9 hits, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, 3 stolen bases, hitting .450 with the .455 OBP and slugging .500. So he's been in his last 30 games, he's hitting .343. So that kind of tells you what he's been doing this past month. So Chandler Simpson, man, I'm glad I got to pick him up. I know as soon as I did, you sent me a trade for him.
Yeah, I had him, and then he got sent down.
Yeah.
And then I dropped him, and then I ended up picking him back up after like a few weeks, because I was like, surely this guy's gonna get called back up soon. He's tearing it up in AAA, of course.
Yeah.
He didn't. Then I dropped him, and then like a few days after that, yeah, he got called back up.
Yeah.
I didn't have any room for him at the time, and then you picked him up, and that's when I was like, all right, well, we'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
But
he's so fun to watch, man. He's just, he's not gonna. He may get like one home run this season. I don't care if I didn't pick him up obviously for that. But he's gonna get on base like crazy, and he may be the fastest guy in baseball. So
kind of like a modern day Juan Pierre, in my opinion.
yeah, yep. And over time he might develop a little more strength and power and learn how to lift that ball, but you don't really have to if you're that type of hitter, man. It's like Luis Ariz. Like obviously he's not a home run hitter, but he's one of the best hitters in the league. So he's doing what he's doing is perfectly fine. So hopefully no one tries to change that on him. Like, hey, start hitting for power and then mess up everything. But like I said, if he does develop a little strength over time, it'll probably come pretty natural to him. So super
Yeah.
talented. But for my pitcher, I went with somebody that we both had in fantasy. We both dropped.
Yeah.
And of course, as soon as we both dropped him because I only had him for the first couple games. You had him for a couple games. Or I traded. He was in a trade that we did.
Yeah.
And ever since you dropped him, somebody picked him up, and he's just been going off. And that's Lucas Giolito. His last 7 games, he's got a 2.54 ERA. He's 4-0, 39 innings pitched, 35 strikeouts, 11 earned runs in that. But this past week against Washington, he went 7 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And then the game before that was almost identical, but he had 5 strikeouts, no earned runs. He's just been doing that his last 4 or 5 starts. Quality. I think he's got like 5 quality starts straight now, something like that. So,
Yeah,
you know,
he gave up like 7 runs and like 1 2/3 for me, and then I was like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm done. And
yeah,
then he started. Of course, he started doing good after that. After I dropped him, and then our least active guy ends up picking him up, which
yeah,
was Chris. Of course, been doing good for him. The least active guy is
yeah.
probably the baseball god. Fantasy gods love him for some reason. It's kind of
He-
annoying, actually.
I know he probably doesn't know he has them. But anyways, there's high upside with Giolito. With fantasy, he's always had a high strikeout rate. He's rocking a 4.3 ERA lifetime, so he's not gonna keep getting no earned runs. I mean, maybe he does, but it's likely that doesn't happen. But right now, he does have a 3.6 ERA, so he's looking pretty good. 12 games in, he's 5-1 for the season. So that's my 2: Chandler Simpson and Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, 2 guys that we both had.
Yep.
All right. So my first guy, I'm gonna go with Roman Anthony. Both these guys are on my fantasy team. Roman Anthony, I'm actually gonna go for his past 10 games, last 44 at bats. Oh, there he is.
Still
There he
got it.
is. Yep. So I wanted to do his last 10 games because when he came up, first few weeks he was actually like really bad.
Yeah.
He was not doing that great. But now his last 10 games, 44 at bats, he's batting 500. He has 22 hits in his last 44 at bats. Really good. He had his first home run at Fenway Park last night.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was like 425, 400. It might have been more than that to center field at Fenway. So the pop's there.
Awful
6
lucky too.
RBIs. Yeah. I got him in the lineup against Kyle Freeland tonight.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, he's looking like he could possibly keep for me. I think he's going to be like $17 next year. So it's really going to depend on how good he is the second half of the season for me, because I got a lot of pretty good options. So, which is a good problem to have, So,
Yeah.
all right, next guy. I might have already had him in one of my breakouts, but if I did, he's going to be in it again. It's Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah.
This guy is one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball, in my opinion. I just don't think it gets talked about enough. I mean, the Phillies got, they got Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez. So this guy, he kind of hides in the rotation a bit. But Christopher Sanchez, last 14 innings pitched, he has a win with 2 quality starts, 1.29 ERA, 0.93 WHIP with 13 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Had a pitch 7 innings last night against the Giants, struck out 8, I think, only giving up a run. So I mean, it's pretty much been all season long. I mean, he's had these kind of starts, 6, 7, 8 innings, giving up 1 to 3 runs. I mean, if only the Cardinals had a guy like this.
Yeah, he's a stud. I mean, there was a lot of people that actually projected him winning Cy Young this year, which he's quietly there. Like you said, he's underrated. He's got similar stats to Logan Webb right now. I mean, they're not. If you look at them, they're not much different. And Logan Webb gets the mention, and Logan Webb, in my opinion, is underrated. I think that he deserves more talk. So, I mean, Christopher Sanchez is looking great. I mean, the Phillies have something special with him.
I think he's like a $15 keep next year, so definitely worth it.
Yeah, because he'd go higher for that in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, Logan Webb for me next year would be a $25 keep, I think, which is high, but I'm still like,
that depends on how he does, the rest of the year.
He may go for that high in the draft, and I mean, if I keep him for a few extra dollars, then I do. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, two good players right there, Roman Anthony and Chris Sanchez.
Yep.
We should make like an underrated position by position, like who's the most underrated by position. Like coming off the top of my head, Logan Webb and Chris Sanchez, I would put in pitching for sure.
I guess relief pitchers, in my opinion, I would put like Will Vest up there for how good he's been with the Tigers this year. I don't think he's been really talked about a ton.
Who?
Will Vest. Everybody, Will Vest.
Randy Rodriguez.
Yeah. That guy is crazy.
He needs one. Third base, obviously, Jose Ramirez. The most underrated, undervalued player there is.
Alec Burleson.
Burleson would be a good one. There's some players out there worth mentioning.
I mean, even like Jonathan Aranda,
Bush. I would put Aranda in for first base. He would go there for sure.
Yeah, and then Michael Bush, probably another good first base option for that one. Because he's batting. I mean, his average this season is around 300.
Yeah. Alejandro Kirk be a good catch on one. Because he's slugging. He's a good slugger, but he's also still a good catcher too.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. What do you have next?
I wanted to talk about this last week, but somehow I forgot. I don't know how I did, but it's about Luis Ortiz being under investigation.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you've read into this, but so right now he's on discipline leave through July 17th. There was a pair of pitches that were flagged. And I think there was a third one that wasn't flagged, but it was kind of like suspicious.
Uh-huh.
There was where he struck out, I think it was Volpe. And then he was apparently like pissed off about it for whatever reason. So I think that kind of raised some eyebrows. But there was it was gambling activity, which for people who don't know, MLB takes that really seriously. So we've already found out in the past. The two pitches, one was June 15th against the Mariners. The other one was June 27th against the Cardinals. And it comes a little bit a year after Tucapita Marcano. If you remember, he was banned, a lifetime ban for placing bets on nearly 400 at-bats.
Yep.
And then back in February, if you remember, umpire Pat Hoberg was fired for, I think he was sharing some kind of gambling account, but kind of sucks because he was that guy that pitched or had a perfect game in the World Series as far as umpiring goes a couple years ago.
Yep.
But it kind of just shows that, I mean, MLB doesn't mess around. I mean, despite how many advertisements there are as far as like sports betting there is, which is,
Hmm.
I guess, kind of ironic in my opinion, but I think
Yeah.
people really need to learn that, I mean, they're going to get caught at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brave to even do that anymore, especially after all that happens. Like, if it turns out to be true, like his time playing ball, he's probably done. I mean, I would think. I guess you could
Yeah.
get suspended for the rest of the season, but
Yeah.
um, maybe no one signs him after that. Maybe not. It's probably case by case, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's just stupid to be doing that anymore. And unless you're just doing cash with some buddies or something, or I don't know. Are they? I guess are they even allowed to play fantasy baseball? I really thought
I
about
don't
that.
I don't know. Like if it's a free league, I would imagine, I don't know why you
Yeah, just do
couldn't.
something like that. And I mean,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
not technically it's not gambling, sports
Yeah,
betting if it's a free league in my opinion, but
yeah.
I don't know the official rule on that.
I think fantasy's different. I think that players are allowed to play fantasy because I know
Cuz you're not really
NFL
placing
players.
bets on those
Yeah,
players.
it's got to
Yeah.
be like logging in and actual placing bets on, this pitcher's going to
Yeah.
get 6+ strikeouts, whatever. But
Cuz I mean, if I was a major league player, obviously I wouldn't gamble, but I would still like to play fantasy baseball.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
and I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. But yeah, but since he got sent, well, he's suspended until further notice. But Joey Cantillo, I don't know if it's Cantillo or Cantillo.
I think it's Cantillo.
Cantillo, okay, yeah. Hawaiian guy though. He's taken his place so far. He hasn't gone deep. He's only been limited to like 60 something pitches. He's gone three innings one game, and I think like three and a third the next. He hasn't pitched over 4 innings all season long. But he is an interesting pitcher. I was kind of eyeballing him in fantasy for this week. He's got 2 starts, Houston and I think the White Sox, which is a pretty good matchup for the White Sox. But again, he's only been going 3 innings, so he's not. He may get you a few Ks and keep your ERA decent, but until they start pushing him more innings. But I think next year he'll be somebody interesting to look at for fantasy, and I think he'll be a really good addition to Guardians rotation. I mean, he's already been really, really great for him. So,
Yeah,
but
he's getting his opportunity, so
yeah, yeah.
take it
So
while you can get it, no matter how you get it.
he pitches tonight against Houston, so tune in to
That'll be
Joey Cantillo.
it'll be a tough start for him, but I think it's a
Yeah,
good test for him.
yep. I aimed at picking up Nick Martinez,
Yeah,
dropping
so that.
Jack Leiter. Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of in a position. I'm like, I don't know if I'm out of it. I'm gonna give it until deadline, and then make my decision. But obviously, Nick Martinez isn't somebody I would keep. But he's got a 2 start week against the Marlins and the Rockies, so figured I'd scoop him up for this week. And I only had like 5 starts for my pitching, so it helps me out.
What else did
But
you have?
I just had the question for you. Guess this player. You gonna do that?
Yeah,
You sure you're ready?
yeah.
All right. This guy was a second baseman. I'll start with that since last time I forgot to mention his position for a little bit.
Brandon Phillips.
Yep. I don't know. Guilford College, I think, is where he went to college. So, but his debut, I thought this was interesting, was the day after I was born. So September 10th, 1993, he made his debut, and I was with Pittsburgh. He played with Pittsburgh up to 99, and then he was with Arizona.
mm. It's you can keep going. The name's not fully there.
I'm not going to name after Arizona just yet, but I'll tell you his career stats.
Wait,
4,009.
how long did he play with Arizona? Can you at least tell me that?
He
How
played
many
with
years?
Arizona. for 4 seasons, and then he got traded in his 4th season.
Okay.
He got traded to Colorado. I'll tell you that.
All right.
So 4,963 at bats, 1,353 hits, 36 home runs, 368 RBIs, 363 stolen bases. He had a 273 lifetime average, 317 OBP, 673 OPS. So, he's not a crazy hitter by any means. He was a contact hitter, and he had a lot of speed. His most stolen bags in one season, and this might give it away, was 72.
72, huh?
And 99.
What?
And the year before that, he had 58. The year before that, he had 60. All with the same team.
Did he have any
Or, no.
awards?
Actually, no, I'm going to take that. He had 72 with Arizona. He had 58 and 60 with Pittsburgh. His awards: NL All-Star 97 with the Pirates. He won the Lou Brock Award 97, 98, 99.
Yeah. Was he was a world he won his world champ with the Diamondbacks?
Yep.
Was he on the 07 Rockies by any chance?
Nope.
So he was on the Rockies like
He was
05,
on he was on
06?
he was on the Rockies in 03, and then and then 03, and then looks like he got traded to Chicago Cubs in 03, and then he played with the Cardinals in 04.
Okay.
And then he played with the Yankees in 05. 06, he played with Cincinnati and then got traded, it looks like, to the Cubs, where he finished his career. At least that's what I'm seeing. I don't see the Rockies in 07. It would have been, it says 06.
Well, I kind of had an idea, and you said the Cardinals in 04. Now I know this isn't it, but I was kind of thinking maybe when you said Cardinals Cubs, Ryan Theriot, but Ryan Theriot retired in like at least 2011 or so, or 2012. So 04 Cardinals.
He did hit 307 with the Cardinals. He had his best hitting season by average, or one of his best, I would say, since 96. So
And you said second base?
played second base. It's a tough one. I will say that, but you'll know the name if you don't get it.
Yeah. I know I will. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, he won.
Pirates, 93.
He won a champ. He was on the Diamondbacks World Series in
Yeah.
01. So he did get that.
Yeah. Second base.
He was drafted in 91 by the Pirates, round 7.
Damn.
His middle name's Daryl. Number 5. Although he wouldn't award number 5 with the Cardinals.
Right. That was
But
a legend.
with Pittsburgh, he did. I don't know about his other teams. Maybe with Arizona, too.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to tell me this one.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
He was first in triples in 2000 with 14.
Okay.
That guy is Tony Womack.
Oh, okay. All right. For some reason, there was a name that was trying to come out that I was trying to think of, and he had I think it was 01 or 04, something like that. He had a grand slam on Father's Day.
Tony Womack did?
Yeah, it was a definitely emotional one for him. Yeah, I guess that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, Tony Womack and the Pirates. I wasn't clicking at first, but now it does. So
Yeah. But he had a great season with the Cardinals. I didn't realize he had he still had 28 stolen bases too, hit 307, so
yeah,
over 500 at bats. So a full season he played with us that year.
heck yeah.
But yeah, fun player.
All right, so I did it last week. I'm do it again this week. I got 3 trivia questions.
All right.
I mean, this is what I think the easiest to hardest is. So I'll start with the easiest one in my opinion. How many players, well, there's only one. Who is the only player in Major League history to have 3 60 home run seasons? So I'll give you 2 guesses on each of these. The only player in Major League history to have 3 60 home run seasons. Now, I will say this. Think about it for a second.
Barry Bonds.
No, I mean, it's a good guess, but it is not Bonds.
Mickey Mantle. Was it around that time?
No. Nope, it was steroid era.
I guess. I mean, it had to be McGuire, right?
No.
Sosa.
It was Sammy
Ah.
Sosa. So yeah, I mean, I know the surprise. I mean, he'll surprise some people, but he's the only person to have 3 different 60 home run seasons. And what's also crazy about that is in each of those seasons, he didn't lead the majors in home runs any of those seasons.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I feel like now
98,
that you say
99,
that, I
or
remember.
01.
I remember now that you say that. I do remember that. Who was the leaders for those seasons?
So 01 was Bonds.
Yeah.
And then 98, 99, I believe both were McGuire.
So McGuire had 2 seasons over 60.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, and
I believe so.
his 60 seasons were back to back to back.
No, 98, 99, and 01.
Oh, 01. Okay.
So, yep.
Sheesh.
All right. Question number 2. Who has the most career Grand Slams?
Most career Grand Slams.
Yep. The hint that I'll give is that it's 25.
25. And it's not Barry Bonds.
No.
Is this guy playing right now?
No.
I was gonna say Gino Suarez. Let's go with Adam Dunn.
It's a good guess, but I'll give you one more guess.
Let's go with Frank Thomas.
No, another good guess, but it's Alex Rodriguez.
Ah.
So he hit the
Rob.
record. He hit the record-breaking
Crazy.
24th Grand Slam in 2013 to break Lou Gehrig's record.
Ah.
I believe it was Lou Gehrig, who had 23, and Alex Rodriguez has 25 career Grand Slams.
Sheesh.
All right, question number 3, and this is kind of a random one, but what was the last team that David Justice played for? And also the reason I asked because it was in a pretty popular baseball movie.
Yeah. Is it the Oakland A's?
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Oakland A's in 2002. So yeah, Moneyball is the movie that David Justice was in.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yep.
Yep. That was. I think we had mentioned Moneyball in like maybe the first couple episodes.
Yeah, it's one of my top baseball movies.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
I got
too.
a lot of top baseball movies, but
Yeah. That one's up
definitely
there.
Yep. All right.
Well, all right.
I have the crazy MLB stat of the video.
Let's hear it.
So this one happened on July 4th. I think I may have already told you this one I'm going to do. So in the 143 years that the St. Louis Cardinals have existed, there's only been one starting pitcher that has allowed 6 home runs in a game. It happened on July 4th at Wrigley Field. It was Miles Michaelis. He's the first Cardinals pitcher ever to do so, and is just the 11th pitcher in Major League history to do so.
Yeah.
6 home runs in a game. 2 to Pete Crow Armstrong, 2 to Michael Busch, 1 to Seiya Suzuki, and then 1 to Carson Kelly. I think that's how it was.
Ugly. Not a good look. And we know how it is with Michaelis, being a Cardinals fans. You know, we love him, but
Yeah.
The thing is, he can push innings. You know, he typically can push innings. He can go deep. He'll get you 180 plus innings pitched a year, but
these starts will come with it.
yeah, he's gonna be rocking a 4 mid ERA probably though.
Yeah.
So. But he's kind of like a Severino in a way. But at Severino, I think it's even more strikeouts than Michael is. So
yeah.
But all right. Well, I think that's it.
For today. Yep.
Until next time.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.